Hey, I want to talk about something that I've really been struggling with lately, and as usual, don't think I'm the only one, so I'm going to share it. I keep staying up later than I should. Not because I have to, or because I'm working, or because there's anything important or urgent, but just because I just don't want to go to bed. And I sit there on the couch, and I take my phone, and I just scroll. I might watch something. Hey, I'm Lisa, and this is Second Peak Midlife. So my husband and I, we like to watch an episode of something like between 8 and 9 at night. And lately it's been pole dark, so some real serious escapism. And instead of getting up and going to bed when it's over like he does, I just sit there, glued to the couch, like I'm just stuck. And I reach for my phone. And I know exactly what I should do. I just don't do it. And the thing is, sleep is my business. This is what I do for a living. And I understand it. I know the science. I know the physiology, what it does to hormones, and circadian rhythms, and the effects of light exposure, the importance of sleep hygiene. I know all of that stuff. And I know what poor sleep does over time. So what does that make me? Does that make me a hypocrite? Because I have all the head knowledge and I'm still sitting there on the couch, scrolling on my phone. So, and that's when I'm supposed to be asleep. And I know I'm not alone in that because I talk to people all the time that struggle with sleep. I was at a meeting just last weekend, a sleep meeting, and it started at 6:45 a.m. And I remember thinking, well, this is ironic. We're here to talk about sleep, circadian rhythms, hormonal balance, the importance of consistent sleep cycles, and yet we're starting the day in a way that disrupts all of that. Barely enough time to wake up, drink a coffee, and function like a human being. And I couldn't help but think, when did this happen? When did we move away from a world that had rhythm to one that just runs all the time, 24/7? And I started thinking about that old Dolly Parton song, and it was a movie, 9 to 5, working 9 to 5. And those were business hours. There was a start and there was an end. And now it feels like everything just has stretched past that on both ends. Earlier mornings, later nights, on call all the time, things open 24/7, open on Sundays. And I remember when I was growing up, stores were closed on Saturday night and on Sunday. And if you didn't plan around that, you had to wait until Monday. And Italy was like that. But now there's no real boundary, especially in healthcare. And I see this tension, even though we know better. We understand what lack of sleep does. We treat the consequences of it every day. And yet the system is built around productivity. It's built around financial efficiency and around maximizing time. And I saw it at that meeting, that non-revenue time gets pushed earlier and earlier so it doesn't interfere with patient hours. And so you can keep a full day. And I understand it, but there's just an irony there. Because we're talking about health while creating a schedule and an environment that completely works against it. We're creating our own patients. And I started thinking, how many healthcare providers do I know that I actually would want to emulate their lifestyle? Not what they say, but how they live. And honestly, I could only think of one that I personally know, and I know thousands of doctors. And I met an ER doc who treated my son. He wasn't even somebody I work with. And I acknowledged that I really appreciated that he appeared to be the picture of health, because most physicians are not. And it made a difference in the impact of what he was saying to my son. And he went on to say that he had lost 80 pounds and he hired a nutritionist and did all the work and built the muscle. And he seems to be the picture of health. But he was inspired by what he observed as his role as a physician. But you would never know. You would have thought that he had always looked like that. But what impacted me was he doesn't just talk about it, he lives it. And that impressed me, because there's a difference between knowing and doing. So let's come back around to myself, because it's easy for me to look at the system and feel frustrated and criticize it. But when I really think about it, I'm participating in it too. No one's making me stay up late. No one's forcing me to sit there scrolling, delaying going to bed. And so I've had to ask myself, why do I do this? And so if you're struggling with this, I think you should ask yourself this too, because what I realized is that it's not about sleep. It's about resistance in my case. There's something in me that doesn't want to end the day, that wants to hold on to that last little bit of time, that last little bit of control, because going to bed feels like I'm letting go of the day, letting go of control, letting go of the unknowns of that tomorrow might bring. And the thing is, tomorrow's coming anyway, whether I stay up late or not. Time doesn't stop for me, and I know that, but my actions don't reflect that. It's like life is just moving too fast and I'm trying to slow it down, but I can't. And so I realized that instead of going to bed with anticipation for tomorrow, I just delay it. And I don't even have anything to dread. My life right now is actually really free. I have a flexible schedule. I have good work. So why am I avoiding it? I think that part of it is this, that I'm not viewing tomorrow as a gift. I'm treating it like it's something I have to get through. And maybe I should be saying at night that tomorrow is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And wake up saying that same thing about today. Because if I don't sleep, then I don't want to get up. And then I miss the morning. I miss the birds. I have to rush through exercise. I miss the cool air and the light coming up. And I love those parts of the morning. I love my morning time with God. And I miss them because of the night, what I did the night before. And it becomes this vicious cycle over and over. So this isn't just a sleep issue. It's a heart issue. Because I know what to do, and I just don't do it. And that's not a knowledge problem. It's disobedience. And it's a trust issue. Because sleep requires trust. Think about that. When you go to sleep, you are completely vulnerable. You are not in control of anything. You are completely unconscious. You are paralyzed. You are sleeping like a baby, completely and utterly dependent. And maybe that's what I resist. Not just sleep, but surrender. Surrender of the day, letting go, trapped by the next thing on the phone that has my attention. Half-hearted and drowsy. So instead of trusting the dawn of a new day, I just sit there and scroll. And I don't want to keep living like that, in that kind of tension, saying that I value something and then living in a way that contradicts it. And so this is, like I said, something that I'm working on. For a long time, my sleep hygiene was really good. But somewhere along the way here recently, old habits have just crept in. So I'm trying to be more intentional, getting up off the couch, having my phone somewhere else so I'm not tempted to pick it up and look at it, and just going to bed and trusting that tomorrow's coming and it will be good. And because of this, I've been reminded of the bedtime nursery rhyme prayer. It goes, "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." And somehow it's morbidly profound in its simplicity. Go to sleep. Trust God. And then when I wake up, I'll remember again that this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I'm learning to choose that, just one night at a time. So are you struggling with late night scrolling? I hope you'll share in the comments how you deal with it, because I think it could help a lot of people. Thanks for watching.